So we have started discussing Unit 9 and we discussed conditionals. Please be careful about conditionals because many students misuse conditionals and they don't really know how to use it correctly. All the time, remember the 4 rules if you want to use conditionals. There is no way out of using conditionals in your daily life. Then I think that we have started discussing and reading Billy's story, and it is about bullying. Now, I think it's the time to start talking and discussing this new page, which is about it all went wrong. Now we have 3 paragraphs. These 3 paragraphs is talking about robberies. So let's try to read about the 3 robberies that went wrong. So all the robberies that we have went wrong. So we have to read every one of them and we have to answer the question, which is, what were the robbers' mistakes?
What's the meaning of robber?
Robber is the thief
Thief.
or
Okay.
bravo, burglar. Okay?
رشاوى بعتقد الربري صح؟
No, robberies.
حرام
Robberies.
النص.
No, wait. Do you know the meaning of robberies? Robbery. We have why.
سرقات.
Is the action of stealing. السرقات, bravo. Yes. Okay.
شو الرشوة لكن؟ إذا
Do
مش
you mean
ربري.
bribes? Bribe.
ممكن برايب yes.
Bribe. This is really famous in our countries. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so I think now it's the time to start reading these 3 robberies. Now I think Ali is going to read the first one. Can you start reading, please?
Yes, sir. Easy arrest. A bank robber in Marseille, France, held up a sign which said, "Give me all the money." The cashier handed over the money, and the bank robber fled, leaving the note behind. Unfortunately, he had written the note on the back of an envelope. On the other side was his address. He was arrested later the same day.
Okay, thank you so much. Guys, by the way, this is a French word, and I think that it
Marseille.
is exactly Marseille, thank you, which is in France.
France.
Oh, bravo.
France.
So it is not an English word, so we don't have to read it as English, we have to read it as French. Now I think we have to answer this question. What was the robber's mistake?
He
Writing,
written his
had written the note
that had his address.
On the back
Bravo,
on
exactly.
envelope.
Yes, he wrote his address on the back of the envelope. Exactly. Now I think Rima is going to read the robbery number 2, please. Smile.
Okay. Car thief Lee Hoskins took pictures of himself stealing a Vauxhall Astra with a camera he found in the glove department. Lee and his girlfriend took turns posing before crashing the car and fleeing the scene, leaving the camera on the back seat of the car. It's amazing just how stupid some criminals can be, said a spokesman for Somerset Police.
Thank you so much, Rima. Now the question is, what was or were the robber's mistakes? Or maybe
They take
was?
photos
They take
and
photos.
and leave
And they have left the camera on the
bravo.
back
camera
seat.
on the back
camera
Exactly.
Two mistakes.
Bravo.
on
They
the back
left
seat.
exactly the
camera
camera
on the back seat of the car.
Exactly. Thank you so much. Now I think Hanadi is going to read the robbery number 3.
Have a loan instead. A Finnish bank manager stopped a robbery by persuading the 3 criminals to take out a loan instead. The robbers burst into the bank near Helsinki and demanded 5,000 euro. The manager put the money on the table, but suggested that a loan would be more sensible. He offered them a 10 euro cash advance and told them to return in 10 minutes to sign the loan papers. Police were waiting for them.
Thank you so much. But how can I read this twice, Hanadi?
5,000?
50.
50,000.
Thank you so much. 50,000 euros. Now the question is, what was the robber's mistake?
They have accepted to take the
bravo.
loan and
Exactly.
signed, and they went and come back.
Exactly. So there was a time for police to come and arrest them. Thank you so much. So this is about the 3 robberies. Now it's the time to complete. Now keep in mind, guys, that we are talking about conditionals and we are talking about modal perfects. Now here we have this exercise. This exercise is about rewrite the sentences again about the robberies using the words in brackets. These are the modals that we have to use. Not only modals, but here we have if conditional and if with modal. Let me try to read example number 1 just to solve the rest of the exercises like the same. 1. It was a mistake to write his note on an envelope. Shouldn't. He shouldn't have written his note on an envelope. Now we have to do the same with exercise number 2, which is saying it would have been better to take the note with him. Should.
He shouldn't have taken
Bravo.
لا, he should have
He
taken
should.
he should have
Exactly.
taken the note with him.
Bravo. So he should plus have plus verb 3 taken his note with him. Exactly. His note with him. Thank you so much. So this is regret. 3. He left his address. The police found him.
If he left his address, the police would find him.
Is it
He
logical?
didn't.
Ah,
No,
we have,
he didn't like,
bravo. If he didn't what?
leave his address.
Is that you, Saria?
Yes.
Let me ask you a question.
Had
This-
left, right?
bravo.
ما نستخدم الباسبورت.
أها.
Okay.
Bravo. If he
He,
had,
he hadn't left.
If he hadn't left
Bravo.
Hadn't
his
left
address.
his address, the police
If he hadn't left his address, the police what?
Wouldn't found him.
Bravo. But wait. When we talked about this rule about conditional, what is the main clause talking about? Here we have past perfect. Okay, this is past perfect. Now, what about the main clause? What shall we use?
wouldn't have found him.
Bravo. Wouldn't have found. Thank you so much. So, wouldn't have found. Would have verb 3. Thank you so much. Have found. I'm sorry I'm writing all the answers because I think we have a recording and we have to listen to it to make sure if everything is okay. Now, 4 we have, it was stupid to take his photo, shouldn't.
He shouldn't taken his photo.
Are you sure?
He shouldn't have taken.
Bravo. He
He
shouldn't
shouldn't have
have
taken
taken.
his photo.
Exactly. Regret. So please be careful.
Is this the topic that you have taken in the previous session?
Yes. This is
Yes, I
Hmm.
wouldn't be able to attend.
This is
No.
about the third
The
rule of
previous-
conditional.
Okay.
Please, Ibrahim, be careful about the third rule of conditional because it is talking about the past. This is number 1. And all the time we have 2 clauses, the if clause and the main clause. In the main clause, you have to use past perfect as we did in exercise number 3. And in the main clause, you have to use would plus have plus past participle or maybe verb 3. Sometimes I can change would to another model. But be careful if you want to use models like would, should, could, might, because the chance is going to be changed and even the meaning is going to be changed. Okay? All the time, if you want to use should plus have plus verb 3, this is about regret. We have 30% chance, we have 60% chance, we have 100% chance, we have blame, we have regret. So be careful about using models. Okay, so he shouldn't have taken his photo with him. Okay, now I think it's the time to solve number 5. Number 5 is saying they crashed the car. They didn't escape. If could.
If
They
they
hadn't,
didn't,
they hadn't crashed the car.
Bravo. Bravo, hadn't crashed. I loved it.
they could escape.
They could escape, thank you. So if they hadn't crashed, we have past perfect. Okay, this is the if clause. Now in the main clause, they
Could have escaped.
could have escaped. Thank you so much. Bravo. They could have verb 3. Be careful about the third conditional because it is the most important rule. And all the time it is talking about the past. Escaped. Okay, now I think it's a time to solve number 6, which is saying he left photos of himself. He could have got away with it. If might.
If he hadn't left photos
hadn't left
Bravo.
photos,
Hadn't left
of
photos.
himself,
Bravo.
he might
Mm-hmm.
He might have got away.
Bravo.
He might have got away.
It's the same, but I have to replace could with might. He might have got
away with it.
away with it. Okay, thank you so much. This is 6, now 7 is saying they were so stupid. They didn't escape.
Teacher, I have a question.
Yes.
He might have got away or get away.
No, it's got. Okay?
Got.
Yes.
Got past participle.
Or I can
Got,
say
got.
gotten.
Gotten.
Gotten is acceptable and got is acceptable too. Okay?
Okay.
So got is correct and gotten is correct. Okay? Some verbs, Hanadi, can take more than one shape or form of verb 3. For example, the verb 3 of learned is learned. Learn is learned using ed. Or maybe you want to change the ed with t. Okay? Learned.
Okay.
It is the same of a dream. You can say dreamed and you can say dreamt.
Dreamt.
Yes. So some, or let me say some verbs can take more than one form if you want to shape the past participle, not verb 2, not simple past. I'm talking about past participle. So they might have gotten, or maybe got is acceptable. 7. They were so stupid. Yes, Ibrahim.
Can I try to solve this?
Please, if you
okay.
can. This is if. Okay.
They had been.
Bravo.
If they had been so
Bravo.
stupid,
Exactly.
If they hadn't been,
they would have escaped.
They would have. Bravo. If they had not.
Hadn't.
If they hadn't been. Bravo.
Been so stupid.
They hadn't been so stupid. Okay, they what?
They would.
I think if they had been stupid, they wouldn't have escaped.
Can I say such a sentence, Brian?
mm. Had been
Yogurt.
mm,
مع
If
توست.
they had been stupid,
Uh-huh.
they
Uh-huh.
would have
Bravo.
wouldn't if they
That's
have
it.
wouldn't
If
have
they
escaped.
hadn't
Thank
been
you.
so stupid,
Uh-huh.
they
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 would
would
have
they
escaped
would
with
have
the money.
Exactly.
they
They
would
would
Yes.
have
then
escaped
they
with the
would
money.
have escaped with the money.
Exactly. Be careful about the meaning.
Mm,
Wait,
Yeah.
yes, because you don't have to change the meaning at all, and the sentence should be logical. So escaped would
Escaped.
have,
You would
bravo,
have
verb
escaped
3.
with
Thank
the
you
money.
so much. Now, 8 is saying they listened to the manager. They didn't steal the money. If could.
If they have listened
Uh-huh.
they
Bravo.
Had,
Have
they have
listened
listened.
to the manager.
Had
had
listened.
listened.
Had or
Uh-huh.
have?
Wait, have or had?
Had.
Had.
Have.
Past
Have.
perfect.
Had listened
Exactly.
Yeah.
Had listened.
to the manager.
Exactly.
they couldn't have steal
They
They could steal the money. They could steal
stole
the money.
they
They
Wait.
could stolen the money.
Uh-huh. They could.
they couldn't
They could
have
stolen.
they couldn't have
Wait,
they
wait.
couldn't have stealed.
They couldn't. Am I right? Or they could?
They could.
لا they couldn't.
They
How?
couldn't. Oh.
لأنه they if
They have
they had
Because
they
listened
had listened.
they
إذا سمعوا
آها.
المانجر ما كانوا
one positive one negative يعني ما فينا يكونوا اثنين negative
So I have to say if they hadn't listened to the manager, they
لا.
could.
Okay. Or if they
Yes.
had
Oh, yes,
listened
yes,
to
Bravo.
yes,
Or
yes.
vice versa. Exactly.
Yes.
Or vice.
They could.
Yes.
They could
They
have
could.
stealed.
they couldn't one or the
Oh,
first is they
yes.
have
Yes. Exactly. Be careful about the meaning. You don't have to change the meaning at all. If they hadn't listened to the manager, they could have what?
stolen.
Stolen. Thank you so much. Steal, stole, stolen.
Yes.
It is a regular verb, exactly. Now let's talk about 9. It was silly to go back to the bank. Shouldn't.
They shouldn't
Bravo.
been. They
Okay.
shouldn't been went back.
Have gone back to the bank.
The main verb is go. Thank you. Okay. They shouldn't. We have main verb, Rima. Okay. They shouldn't.
They shouldn't
Have. The verb 3 of go is
have
gone.
bravo.
gone
They shouldn't have
back.
gone to the
Gone back.
bank. This is a regret, exactly.
They
Now,
shouldn't have gone
yes.
back. They shouldn't have gone back to the
Yeah,
bank.
exactly. I think, do we have a recording? No, we don't. Okay. By the way, these are the correct answers about these 9 sentences. I have to erase them because we have to solve 10. So these are the correct usage of the third conditional. Be careful. Now we still have the final one, which is 10. It would have been better to just run away. We have should.
They should had. They should had.
After should, verb 0.
Have.
Have.
Yeah. They should have.
Ran away.
Bravo. They should have run away. That's
Run
it.
away. بنشيل to just.
Exactly. These are extra information. So they should have
Should have
run away.
run away.
To escape. Exactly.
They
Run
should
away.
have
Exactly.
just run away.
Bravo. Run, run, run. Again.
Ran.
Exactly. This is the verb 3 of the verb run. So this is it. Be careful about the third conditional because we noticed that it is extremely important to talk about the past. Now, let's go back to the story. Now, how do we react when he tells you these things? We have to use might and could. Absolutely, might have verb 3, could have verb 3. What do you think about one? If I want to say I went walking in the mountains for 3 days with no food or equipment.
He might be
You repeat?
Okay, again.
full.
Okay, now we have to rewrite these sentences using might have or could have, Saria. Okay?
Mm.
Now, the first stupid thing is I went walking in the mountains for 3 days with no food, no equipment. This is something fool or bad or stupid.
He couldn't. He couldn't
Uh-huh.
have
Mm-hmm.
went walking in the mountain.
He couldn't have what?
He couldn't have
Have
gone or
Couldn't have gone. Okay.
done walking.
okay.
Uh-huh.
Or
we
walked.
gone
We can
or
say
Or
walked.
walked. Yes, because exactly. Exactly.
He
Because
walked in the mountains for 3 days
bravo. Because the
with no
main verb.
food or equipment.
Exactly. Thank you so much. So couldn't have walked into
He
the
couldn't
mountains.
have
You don't,
walked.
bravo. So you couldn't have
Walked.
walked in the mountains. I suggest to listen to them one by one just to make sure if the answer is really correct. So this is 9.4. Let me play the recording.
But I think we didn't answer the
Which one?
question. Wait, the first one.
The first question?
Yes, لأنه we should answer if he went went walking in the mountains, what will happen to him? يعني we should say for example you might have been so hungry, for example. I don't know if
we
this
have
is
to.
the right way to answer the
Okay, let's just listen to make sure if you are right, Hanadi. Okay, let's listen. This is 9, this is 9, and this is number 4.
Tape script 9.4. You're an idiot. 1.
I went walking in the mountains for 3 days with no food or equipment.
You're an idiot. You could have died. You could have starved to death or died of cold.
So we have to talk about the result with using might have or could have. Okay,
Yes.
guys? Yes. By the way, let me repeat the recording of number 1 because we have to do the same with the rest of the sentences.
Idiot. 1.
I went walking in the mountains for 3 days with no food or equipment.
You're an idiot. You could have died. You could have starved to death or died of cold.
So this is it. So you're an idiot and we have to complete. Exactly. Okay, let's do the same with 2. I didn't feel like going to work, so I phoned in sick. I went shopping instead. You're an idiot? Okay. How can I
You could
complete?
have get tired.
You what?
you might
You could
Might. Uh-huh.
or you
You
could
might get tired.
have
Uh-huh.
you might have got fired.
You might have got fired. I loved it. Yes.
Or you could have been seen by someone.
Bravo. You could have been seen by someone. I loved that. You could have been seen. This is passive voice. Thank you, Hanadi. This is amazing. Do you have any different or extra information you want to say? No answer. Okay, so let's listen to 2.
2.
I didn't feel like going to work, so I phoned in sick. I went shopping instead.
You're such an idiot. Your boss might have seen you. You could have got the sack.
Bravo, Hanadi. I think you're totally right. This is it. Okay, let's try to complete like this with 3. I had a temperature of 102, but I went out dancing all night. You're an idiot.
You might have gone in a coma.
You might have gone in a coma. That's amazing. Thank you, Ali. Exactly. Any other answer?
It's for number 2.
This is for 3.
I lost my connection.
We have already listened to 2. Do you want me to repeat listening number 2, Rima?
Yes, if you can.
Yes, I can. So let's listen to 2 again, and let's do the same with 3.
Starved to death or died of cold.
Now 2.
2.
I didn't feel like going to work, so I phoned in sick. I went shopping instead.
You're such an idiot. Your boss might have seen you. You could have got the sack.
You might have seen. That's amazing. Okay. Now 3, I had a temperature of 102, but I went out dancing all night.
Or you're an idiot. You might have lost your head.
You might have lost, you mean.
Lost your head, yeah.
What do you mean by lost your head?
I
This
told
is-
you before.
Lost your head is to be killed.
Yes, to be stupid or to not control his behavior.
Yeah, lose your mind, maybe.
Yeah.
Lose
Or
your
I
head.
can say, your health condition might
Might have
might-
lost its control.
Have gone.
might have get worse.
Might have got worse. That's
Got worse.
amazing. Bravo. Do you want to say something else?
No.
Okay, so let's listen to 3.
3.
I had a temperature of 102, but I went out dancing all night.
That's so stupid. You could have been really ill. You should have gone to bed.
You should have gone. That's amazing. And you could have been ill. Okay, now let's try to read 4. I told Sally I couldn't see her. Then went out to the pub with Danielle.
She might have seen you
Bravo.
and got mad at you.
She might have seen you. Thank you so much. And might have got mad exactly with you
Yes.
or of you. Okay. Any different answer?
You might have lost her friendship.
Bravo. Exactly. Mind friendship. Thank you so much, Hanadi. Again, let's listen to 4.
4.
I told Sally I couldn't see her, then went out to the pub with Danielle.
That was a really dumb thing to do. Sally might have seen you in the pub.
Bravo. Might have seen you. Okay, now let's do the final one, which is 5, which is saying, I used to be really good at tennis. I was an under 14 champion, but then I gave it all up.
You're an idiot.
Mhm.
You might have been you might have became a star.
A champion.
Right now.
Bravo. A star. Thank you.
Become.
Good answer. You might have. He
Become.
said Ben. Become or Ben.
Yes.
Exactly. Ben is verb 3 and become, Ibrahim, thank you so much, is verb 3 too. Yes.
Can you scroll the screen?
Yes, I will. So let me do it. This is it. Okay, now I think it's a time to listen to the final one, which is 5.
5.
I used to be really good at tennis. I was an under 14 champion. But then I gave it all up.
That's such a shame. You might have been a champion. You might even have won Wimbledon.
Bravo. You might have been, or you might have been a champion, a hero. Thank you so much. Or a star, as Ali said. So this is it. This is about the third conditional. Be careful if you want to use could or might, or if you want to use should. Should all the time, guys, is about regret. Okay? Might is about blame. Okay. Now, I think it's a time to speak, and I'm going to ask all of you this question, which is about a time you think it was really bad and it went wrong. What happened in that day? For example, I went to a party with my boyfriend, I kissed another boy, I had a row with my boyfriend, or maybe we broke up. I have to read some examples for you. So these are the examples that you have to speak. Like the same, I shouldn't have kissed the other boy. 2. If I hadn't kissed him, this is conditional, be careful, I wouldn't have had a row or quarrel with or fight with my boyfriend.